So we are going to look at writing a distance formula to use on our calculator. Okay, now you've already viewed the video here, which again outlines the distance formula. Okay, and I think everybody should be very well acquainted with that. And what we're going to use is we're going to see that when we apply our distance program on our calculator, we end up with that same value with given these two sets of 0.73 and -5.2. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have over here. So basically, in order to write a program for your calculator, you got to work with the formula without numbers. So I'm going to say arbitrarily I'm dealing with the distance between 2 points, and one point has coordinates p comma q, and q and r minus and r comma s. So this is just the distance formula applied, and what I'm going to do is streamline this for when I enter these things in the calculator by saying, okay, I'm just going to assign the p minus r quantity squared to a, and q minus s quantity squared to b, and then rewrite my distance formula this way. So here we go with the program. Okay, first off, we turn on our calculator, and here I have it running. Actually, let me just show you how it works. Okay, and then we'll show you how you plug the numbers in. Okay, so if I went to the home screen, this is the command that's asking me to execute the distance program. So I enter it, and I'll recall coming back to this sample over here that, okay, it's asking for P, which is going to be my value of 7. Okay, then it's asking for Q, which is my value of 3, R, which is my value of -5, and don't be confused, this is the negative as opposed to subtraction, negative -5, okay, and the -2 for the last value. And of course it reports the final answer, which is the distance of 13. Okay, so my program works properly. Now it's a matter for us to see how you will write that program. So here we go back here. Okay, so write any program. It's not at all difficult. All it is getting the information in, doing the computation, and returning the answer. Okay, so I'm going to go to the home screen. I'm going to clear here. I'm going to go to my apps button. I'm going to click on the apps button, and I'm going to choose the program editor. I'm going to come over. I'm going to select a new program. Okay, the first thing it's going to do, it's going to prompt me for the name of that. I'm going to use my keypad down here to enter my name, enter the name. Give it a name that you're going to remember it by. Distance. Okay, you can see I'm using the purple keys here. All right, the distance, I mean, in this, the alpha mode is already on. So we'll just spell out the word distance. Okay, D-I-S-T, which is up here. Well, I'll just leave it there. D-I-S-T. That's good enough. Okay, I'm going to enter that. I'm going to enter it again, and it takes me to the command lines for the program. All right. Notice the first line is the name of the program. The next line is that which is telling you, okay, to execute a program, and then there's the line in between, which is where we're going to enter our command lines. Okay. These three lines must be there on the 89 to execute this program. So do not delete them. All right. Now we're going to put in our commands. Okay, all of our commands are going to be from the F3 menu, which is the I/O, which is standing for input output. Here we go. Display, input, prompt, all these things. There's only a few we're going to use. We're only going to use two, actually. We're going to use prompt to put our information in, and display to see our answer. So we're going to do a prompt command. Okay. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to select option 5, prompt. I want to put in P Q, R, and S. That's the X and Y coordinates of each point. I can do it in 2 lines. I can do it in 1 line. I got to select, I got to tell the variables I'm using. I got to activate my alpha key for P. Here's P, comma. Nope. I put my alpha key, I put my lock on, so I had to take that off. Comma. And now I have to put it back on to get my Q. Okay, alpha Q. Enter. Let's do another prop, the F3, option 5. Okay. And that's, let me check on my time here. Okay. And then we're going to put in R and S. Okay. Prompt for alpha R. Let's get the R, wherever R might be. Here we go. Comma, alpha S. Get our S. Now, we're going to put these lines in. We're going to assign P minus R quantity squared. So just put in parentheses, alpha P minus alpha R, right? Where's my R value? Okay. Close parenthesis, raise that to the second power. Now, we don't use equals. We use the store key. That's assigning this value, whatever it might be, to A. So we're going to go hit the STO key. That's the store. There's that little arrow in there. It's assigning that to the variable A. For A. Okay. Again, next line, we're going to enter this. Okay, so parenthesis, alpha Q minus alpha S. And we're going to enclose that, raise that to the second power, and assign that, store that as my value of B. So alpha B. All right, and let's see. Might be. There we go. Now, okay, we'll do our computation line. Simply, the root of A plus B is going to be assigned to the letter D. Here's my root. It's a secondary key. So the root, and all I'm doing is I'm taking the A value, alpha A, okay, plus alpha B, alpha B. I'm closing my parentheses to tell it that that is needing to be taken the square root of. I'm storing that. I'll store it as alpha D since I didn't use the D. Make sure you don't use a variable that you've already used. Okay, so I'm storing that as alpha D. Now, I've got my information in. I got the coordinates of the first point, the coordinates of the second point. I've done the computation. I've assigned the value of the computation as D, obviously for distance. One thing remains. Enter. Another line. I want to see my answer. F3, pick up the display option. Display alpha G. That's what I want to see. My program's done. That's it. Okay? That's the entire program. Input the coordinates of the point, do the computation, assign your answer to a variable, ask to see your answer with the display option. Okay, now that's done. Nothing more to do. It is automatically saved as the DIST. Okay, so we're going to just quit, second escape, taking us to the home screen. What you have to do is type the name of the program in here. As time goes on, you'll have more and more programs. So you can always find your programs in the variable link, which is a secondary key, second variable link. And you'll scroll down and you'll find your program. Okay, there's my program, DIST. Enter. Okay, it starts with an open parenthesis. Choose to close the parenthesis. Enter. Now we'll come back and we'll call on this here. We'll put these values in as the X and Y coordinates. So there again, it's asking for the first in order, the X and Y coordinates. So that's 7. And then it's asking, remember, we're PQRS as our coordinates, okay? So Q is 3. Enter. R, -5. Make sure you use the negative key, not the subtraction. -5. Enter. -2. Nope. Go back. We didn't enter. Okay. -2. Enter. 13 is the distance between the point at coordinate 7, 3 and at 7, 3 and -5, 2. It's done. You wrote your first program. Okay. Now follow that and write that program for your calculator, and then you'll be able to use it. Okay, for problems that we'll do in class. Okay. So there you are.